Okay, so I think it's better if I'm in the back. I think it's better if I'm in the passenger seat. Yeah, hell yeah. This is great. I am feeling so grateful right now. I'm drinking iced cacao. I just got like a delicious, healthy sandwich situation, and I'm currently at this beautiful spot on the map called Iao Valley. And if you don't know where that is, it's here in Hawaii, and it's a place that is just rich with history and magic and such an integration of both light and dark in one place. The river here also is known to apparently not have a source that people can identify. And I think that's so sick. And basically, scientists, like, yeah, they don't know the source of the water. And the Hawaiians are like, bro, it's a portal to Pleiades. We've been trying to tell you that for a long time. And I just freaking love that so much. So, whatever it be, it's very mystical and magical. And it feels so good to just be in this lush, verdant environment, which to me is my ecosystem. Like, I love the beach. I just got out of the water. I was surfing today. But I can feel in my bones, like, I just need to come back to this lush environment and let my body just be held in this. It's just what feels like home to me. Side tangent, that's really cool. One of my good friends who's an ethnobotanist, her name is Molly Helfand, and she has really cool stuff to follow. Like, subscribe to her Substack for sure. She's a world traveler. She studies plants and so much more, medicine, healing, people, culture. And she told me a long time ago that humans have outgrown the need to rely on their ecosystem to live, right? We have frickin' Costco. But what we do know is that all humans have a certain ecosystem that gives them the most peace. And what's really cool is it's not directly linked to your biology. Like, you'd think, okay, I'm, for example, mostly Italian and some other Western European boring stuff, but like, no offense, like that's, you'd think that it would maybe be like Mediterranean or that kind of environment, or chaparral, but like, I literally couldn't be more bored by chaparral. Like, I love the rich jungle. I love the smells. I love the sounds. I love the rain that comes and goes, and the way that the light hits leaves and it's golden and trickling in. And I just feel so inspired and moved. I love that it's a little moody and dark and mysterious in some ways, but also so alive. To me, it's the definition of lit and luscious. And those are my two favorite words, right? It's lit, it's luscious, it's alive. And that's how I choose to live my life. It's truly in alignment with me, that ecosystem. So maybe you have something like that for you. I mean, her theory, her hypothesis, as an ethnobotanist, has been that we all have one. What is yours? And if you go there, it's going to help you thrive. So I know that there are some things that, kids, life, family, house, jobs, whatever, that may get in the way. But if you can visit as much as possible, and also consider that maybe you're getting in your own way too, but that's for another time. So here I am in this beautiful, lush environment. I'm feeling so good. I'm just about to go in the river and do a vai clearing. And what a vai clearing is a pure fresh water clearing from head to toe, and it cleanses your entire chakra system. And I learned this during my studies with Hawaiian elders and healers here on Maui. I've done that 2 different times and became certified in the foundations of Hawaiian healing. And then later on, I studied with a different teacher of a different Hawaiian lineage as well. I have so much reverence for this culture. It speaks to me in ways that nothing else really does. And I think that's also an interesting thing, right? Maybe our ecosystems are linked to past lives, or different timelines. I don't even know, but I definitely have always felt really connected to the ancient Mu or Lemurian lineage. I used to think this stuff was so annoying when people would talk about it, and I don't really talk about it that much, but it is really the air I breathe. I'm so connected to this land, and Hawaii is apparently some of the most mu energy is the most dense here on the island, specifically of Kauai and Maui. And whatever it is, I can feel its potency. I identify with it. I've just always felt like this is my home. And I know that there's a lot of different conversations and controversy about being here. And I just want to say I understand. And I'm reverent to that. I'm really reverent to this culture and what it means to be here and where these people come from and everything, of course, that's happened here on these islands. They are so magnetic, and they pull a lot of people too, which I didn't know I was going to go in this direction, but it's actually exactly where I wanted to go. So everything is beautiful and divine. I was talking to some friends today. I'm really leveling up in my life right now, and I can feel that. When I first got back here, I grew up here part-time my entire life, so I was always back and forth between here and California and Mexico, and then on the road with my dad's band for entire summers. So my idea of home was kind of all over the place. I had a steady home in Northern California where I pretty much primarily went to school, with the exception of like a year or two in other places. But this place, like I said, always felt like home. And we spent so much time out at my family's house here in Hilo, which is on the North Shore on the road to Hana, the winding road to Hana. And what I noticed when I moved back here about almost a year ago now, I was like, I really want to make sure that I'm aligning with the right people, which is the hope and dream for everyone, anywhere, anytime you move somewhere new, right? But I do know that there's a big pool of people here that come and they're very lost. And the truth is, I came here lost in some ways too. I came back here fresh out of a different relationship, healing a lot of myself and choosing myself for the first time ever completely. I'd always waited on partners and people and family and friends to do things that I wanted to do. And finally I was like, I'm doing this for me. I'm not waiting for anyone. So it was big. I didn't have a strong community here. I had actually a lot of friends and family, but they were family friends, like older, amazing people. So grateful for all of them. But people in my own age group, like with the same interests that I've cultivated, and it's different. I came here looking for those people and found them actually immediately. Like, it was crazy how quickly I dropped into the group. Met people here. My business started taking off. Like, everything just started to fall into alignment, which is also something that I keep saying to myself and others. When you're brave enough to take the leap, if it's truly right for you, like, it's not meant to be hard. Things are not meant to be hard. Like, you'll have challenges in your life and up levels and kind of ruptures, but for the most part, like, things will flow. And so, and if they need redirect, they'll redirect and they'll flow. And you have to be in that deep state of listening to get there. But that deep state of listening is what you already did to get to the next place. So you've got you, and now it's just being brave enough to take those steps. Yeah. But here I am, everything's feeling amazing, like literally river flow. I'm just overjoyed and so grateful, literally crying tears of gratitude every day for my community and the life I found. My life is my motherfucking vision board. Everything, literally everything. It's insane. And so now I really got to up level. I'm just calling in like the really amazing dream house I'm calling in, and all the abundance in the world and more. But yeah, so I come here and I cast a wide net. I show up to everything. I say yes to things. That's what you do when you're new in town. That's what you do when you're finding your rhythm and your exact alignment. And I'm very happy. I'm having so much fun, still having fun. But I hit a point a couple months ago where I realized I'm spread a little thin. And not every single person I've cast this net over is perfectly aligned. I can't just keep saying yes to everything and everyone, because there's just other more beautiful things that I would like to do as well. So the people I'm spending my energy on, I really need to make sure that they're in alignment with me, that they feel good. Does my body feel good around them? Do we see the world in a similar way? Does it feel like I have to, like, I'm rescuing them in some way? This is a pattern of mine, right? Like, do I feel like I have to reach into the well and like pull them out? And I realized that there's a certain baseline, because people can go through stuff. And I know this is a question a lot of people pleasers and ex-codependents, recoverings, whatever, empaths, energy sponge people have, which is, I want to make sure, but what do I do when someone's actually in need? Like, when do I draw the line? When do I know to help them or not help them? Or I'm confused. Isn't it a good thing that I'm helping people? All these things. And here's what I just discovered today. People need to meet you at a certain baseline. I learned this with my family a long time ago. If they're not meeting you halfway, you're no. It's a no. That's too much work. That's too much work. You can't drag their dead body up a hill, or their 5% life force body up a hill. They need to muster up at least 50% in order for you to carry them up that hill. Together, not carry, walk together. And people will go up and down. I just needed to lean on my friends so heavily the last couple of weeks. It's insane. But I think that they could say that I was willing to meet myself, mostly myself, not just them, myself halfway. So I'm looking for people in my life. They can be going through it. They can be going through a breakup. They can feel lost. They cannot know their passion or their purpose or whatever. Like, they don't need to have all of it figured out. None of us have it all figured out. But what I do need is for them to have a baseline of gratitude, of trust, and of positivity. Period. And yes, there's values I'd like for us to align on, sure, too. But I like, a little diversification in my group. In some ways, I'm okay with different political parties. Like, I'm okay if you have a different religion than me. I don't really care how it's expressed, as long as the baseline is kindness, positivity, integrity. You have that in yourself. Otherwise, I'm going to be carrying you up the hill. And I can't be doing that anymore. And I realized how many relationships I've had built on this certain person being vulnerable and me trying to rescue them, because it feels like I'm needed and they're getting what they need too. But the truth is, you're not helping. You're creating another form of codependency, which is what I just talked about. So I'm finally recognizing how important it is that, people have that baseline. And if they don't, it's just not in alignment for me. It's just not. And that's okay. And you get to have the same sort of standard, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be my exact standard. You get to have your own version of things. But that is, I can work with you if you've got you like that. If not, I'm so sorry. And it's not to say that they're like bad people it's just we're at a different level, and I know my own personal limitations. So I've been thinking a lot about that, and how there's just a lot of values and qualities in people that I'm looking for. And you could get really nitty gritty. I think that's really helpful, like honesty, authenticity, positivity, whatever it may be. But also, can you just notice how you feel around the people? Do you feel more drained? Do you notice them impacting your mindset in certain ways that just aren't healthy? Because that's what happens to me when I keep spending time in a group of people that it's not aligned. Like, if I spend time with a lot of judgmental people, I start becoming judgmental. If they're talking a lot of shit, I start talking shit. Like, you really are the sum of the people you surround yourself with. And I didn't really get that. But now I'm like, dude, I want my people to light me up, inspire me. I want them to be confident. I want to look at them and be like, damn, that's fucking, I want what they have in that. And it doesn't have to be in every area, but they got something good. And for the most part, we feel good around each other. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more, sense of humor, blah, 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 blah. But those are really important things, especially to be specific when people are going through hard times. I need that. I need them to be able to understand themselves in those ways. And that's it. I'm just up leveling. And if you're hearing this and you're like, oh man, that's not me or whatever, like, this isn't to put anybody down. First of all, that's my baseline. That doesn't have to be everyone's. A lot of people are in a different place. Not to mention, we can get to those places. But again, I'm the kind of friend who it's really hard for me not to try to just do the rescuing, at least right now. So it's a boundary. That's called a boundary. I can't believe it. And suddenly, like, people are telling me I'm good at boundaries, which is amazing because I've worked so hard on them after all these years. But damn, it used to be so freaking hard for me to understand that a boundary is saying, like, I'm not going to carry you up that hill. I gotta take care of me. You gotta take care of you. It's like there is a certain amount of enabling that goes on too when we are the empaths of the world. And I know all we want to do is help. So just this radical lesson is helping sometimes is letting them go, is just taking steps back. And I will share a personal story. I had a really good friend who said that she dropped me in the middle of my last breakup about a year ago, in my most critical time. It was intense. My computer crashed. I didn't have anything. I couldn't work. I left the partner I was with because my nervous system was so fried and I was just completely dysregulated and I knew it wasn't right. And my best friend of almost my entire life, we were very different values, very different ways of operating, but she was very wise in a lot of ways. And something that she did was she said, basically in that time a value was revealed to her as different than hers. And she decided that we couldn't be friends. And it had nothing to do with what I was going through. It just happened to pop up at the same time. And it was really intense. And yeah, we fundamentally disagree that this is something that's worth cutting somebody off over. But it is what it is. She's got to protect her peace. I have to protect mine. And that was already in big dissonance, this thing that we couldn't see eye to eye on. And it was so painful. I was like, I can't believe this is happening at this time. But also, I could still see it in that moment. I was like, you know what though? Like, I know that this is going to help me grow, because I was leaning on her a lot during that time too. And I knew that we both needed to make space for greater alignment. And if we are best friends and there was something standing in the way of us getting closer, it was this one thing that, like, she couldn't agree that I was basically a neutral source on. Yeah, then we got to make room. Not everybody has to be that radical, but she decided to be. It wasn't my choice. I probably would have been able to manage the relationship, but I was so grateful in the end. I was like, that just gave me so much more space for more aligned friendships. And now that's not in my field. I don't have to tiptoe around certain things that I think are just totally okay and this person doesn't, because they have their own pretty radical beliefs about it. And again, she's entitled to them. It's just really, really interesting to see the way that things start to shift around for you. What's meant to stay will stay, and what isn't won't. And something else, because of course, as you know, if you've been following my journey, a lot of this has been about the relationship I'm in and navigating a new iteration of that, where he moved out and just last week, and we've been shifting the dynamic of that, and I've been asking for certain things from him, and he's already up-leveled so much in that space. I realized a few years ago, space allows what's meant to die, and what's meant to grow. Space is oxygen. Space can be this magical thing that allows things to come into true alignment and get to where they need to be. That's authentic for that thing. Even think of like a plant, right? Like, you give it some space and maybe it can't survive because it needs these other plants or whatever is going on. Maybe it doesn't transplant well, or maybe it gets even better because it has the space to take up what it needs and be authentically it. Space allows what's meant to grow, and what's meant to die. And so in my current relationship, I've just been in complete awe watching that the space and kind of the changing of the living situation and making really honest requests has allowed this to grow. But you'll know when things are meant to die. yeah, it's hard. Sometimes you really don't want to be that person. Sometimes you're not even the one to make that choice, but you got to trust it. So those are my current thoughts. I'm here in the jungle and I'm going to go do my vite clearing, allow the cold water to rush from my head all the way down to my toes, and just clear my body and to be held in nature and to be alone, which is something I haven't actually been doing very much, at least in a joyful way. I've been leaning on a lot of people as I've been needing to for some time, and I've also been, of course, in my partnership, which, you know, if you're in a partnership, you spend a lot of time with that person, and we have such a big community that now I'm kind of distilling down to the core people so that I can say yes to certain people and not try to waste my time in other ways. So I'm feeling a lot more spacious and just really full of aligned love and really grateful right now, like really grateful. And I wanted to come on here and just share that energy, how much in awe I am of the power of staying connected to me and sharing that truthfully. Wow, this girl has the exact same towel as me outside, literally, like, hell yeah. Staying connected to me and what that allows me to create in my life, which is just like, it's so custom fit. Like, I'm truly in love with my life, with where I live, with my people, with my bravery, with my partner, with the opportunities that I have, with even having this now, right now, and just the bravery to start a YouTube channel. I don't even know who's watching or what's happening or what will happen, but I trust. With this, I'm just in this new wave of like, I'm being comfortable on my own. I'm not waiting on anyone. I'm finally like, I got me. And I feel that so much for the first time in my life. And I'll continue sharing more on how I got here and what it takes and what that journey looks like, because it's a journey. That's why we're still alive. If we mastered it, like, then we would probably just like die and dissolve into like nirvana. But at this point, yeah, I'm here for the ride, but it's a really just up-leveled ride. People talk about jumping timelines or whatever. I feel like I just jumped the fuck out of all these timelines, and I'm right where I've always wanted to be. And it only gets better. I can feel it. I hope you have the most beautiful day. Thank you so much for listening. I'm gonna get in the river.